Another week down in the books, and had my fair share of blue fragrances this week, but a lot of cooler weather, spicy, had some iris fragrances, some personal favorites of mine that I haven't worn in a very long time. An interesting mix, but all that blend well with the cold weather I've been dealing with. It's week number 111 in the weekly rotation. Stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday is one that I haven't spent much time with in recent memory. Did a full review last year on it. It's kind of overshadowed in its own line because the entire fragrance line is full of fantastic scents, blue scents at that. Talking about YSL Y Live Eau de Toilette Intense. This stuff's really, really good. It kind of takes Y, mixes it with a bit of Invictus. You get Y Live. It's a good fragrance. Really is. Man, that's some good stuff. That ambergris, sage, apple, bergamot type of smell that Y is known for, with a little bit of sweet aquatic action of Invictus. Definitely has similar staying power to the EDP, which it shares almost the exact same bottle shading and gradient coloring with. But this one's not quite as loud as Y Eau de Parfum. Y Eau de Parfum is definitely a much louder fragrance, but like I said, this is in the realm of the type of longevity I get from the EDP. The EDP definitely sticks to my skin a bit longer. That's more in the 10-hour range, where this is more in the 8-hour range, but it's a great fragrance that's, like I said, overshadowed in its own line. Definitely give this one a look if you haven't yet. Y Live, very, very underrated in its own fragrance line. And then when I got the shower, just the greatest. Let's call a spade. Acqua di Gio from Giorgio Armani. With this recent Eau de Parfum flanker being announced and all the excitement around it, I was just in the mood. I just had Joey Cannoli and Unaverage Joe, shout outs to both of them, on a happy hour live stream is what we dubbed it. And we all agree, this will never be dated. For those of you saying it's dated and it's an old man smell, we disagree with you. We just disagree. It's timeless. It always smells good. It always works. It's still a signature scent for many, many men, even to this day. Came out in the mid-90s. We're in the early 2020s, and it's still a thing. They're still spawning incredibly successful flankers that are sought after seems like every year now in this particular line, and this is still, to my knowledge, the highest selling men's fragrance currently. It's timeless. It just works. Yeah, I don't really wear it casually during the day as often as I used to, but from time to time, when I get out the shower, I just get in the mood for it because it's super refreshing, super enjoyable, and my wife still loves to smell this one on me. Out the shower, the original Acqua di Gio. Moving into Monday is a blue beast that I have not spent time with in a while. And it's still every bit of that term, a blue beast. Extremely blue, extremely loud, extremely long lasting. Smells like an Ambroxan bomb that doesn't list Ambroxan in the notes. That being Davidoff Cool Water Intense. And for those of you that are not familiar with this fragrance, no, it does not smell like cool water. It just shares the bottle design in the name. It smells nothing like cool water. It still has that shower gel smell. It's listed as amber, coconut, and I forgot what the other note is. I want to say vetiver or something like that. And it does have a little bit of a coconut smell going. It does have a smooth, warm amber, but it smells like a whole bunch of Ambroxans in here to really help it have that big, loud push off my skin. Because this is one that I only did 2 sprays. I was sick last week. I wanted to enjoy the fragrance, but I didn't want to overwhelm my senses. And believe it or not, going 5 or 6 sprays of this would have definitely overwhelmed my senses. So 2 sprays was plenty. I was still smelling myself very easily throughout the day. It's definitely a head turner. It's definitely attractive. It's youthful and playful. It's not a serious fragrance in any way. This is not one I would ever dream of throwing on with an Oxford or a suit and tie or anything like that. Definitely a t-shirt fragrance, maybe a polo shirt type of thing. Much more laid back. young guys looking for attention, or, you know, grown-ass men that desperately seeking attention from a fragrance. This one will cover that. Trust me. It is super, super loud. And you can still find it for under $40 easily when discounters have it in stock. eBay sellers, Amazon sellers. Grab a bottle if you're looking for an attention getter that's mass appealing with Davidoff Cool Water Intense. That's definitely its glaringly wondrous trait. And then when I got the shower, it was time for a good shave, so I went with my Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme Shave Set. This is the aftershave splash. And then, of course, I gave myself a few sprays of the fragrance, Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. One of the best high-quality lavender fragrances out there. Just stunning. I mean, masculine. A little on the mature side, sure. I can't see too many, 20-year-olds really gravitating to this fragrance, but it's top-tier quality. Performance is well above average without being just some obnoxious, super loud, in-your-face fragrance. You can spray this one a little bit heavier depending on your setting. I don't really spray it too heavy, though. It lasts every bit of 8 to 9 hours on my skin, and it's on the moderate to slightly little bit stronger type of territory and projection on my skin. But in situations like this, when I'm just adding to the aftershave splash and the shave soap after a good shave, 2 sprays is more than enough. It just kind of enhances the little bit of scent bubble I'll have going from the aftershave splash, because the aftershave splash, not the strongest thing out there. I mean, it's weaker than the Eau de Parfum fragrance for sure. That's why it's nice to throw a few sprays on when you have the matching fragrance with the shave set. And I was definitely smelling fan-damn-tastic. Out the shower, had a good shave. Went with Zaharoff's Signature Pour Homme Shave Set and the fragrance. Moving into Tuesday, one of my favorite scent profiles released in 2021 was Dior Sauvage Elixir. And Alexandria Fragrances just happened to release what I deem to be the best clone out there that I've tried for it, that being Alexandria Fragrances et Sauvage Elixir. It's available in a 60 ml and a 100 milliliter bottle like this, extrait de parfum, and they nailed the scent profile. I've said it many times, I'll say it again, across the board, opening all the way to deep dry down, the performance across the board, it's 90% or better of a match in every category. They really nailed it with this one. If you can get Sauvage Elixir at a discount, less than retail, of course my vote is get the original. That's always my vote, is get the original, especially if you can get a deal. Because $155 retail US for that 60 ml, it's pricey. It is. Don't get me wrong. I did buy it. This came out after the fact. Not sure if I would have bought it still if I had this first, but if you are on a budget, this is $100 for a 100 ml, $60 for a 60 ml before any discount codes, and you can usually find a 15 or 20% off code if you Google search it. They do run discounts pretty regularly, so you can get the clone for half price or better for more fragrance. But like I said, the only time I recommend that is if you can't find the original at a discount, because the original is definitely the way to go in my opinion. But during the day, I was in the mood for the scent profile, and more times than not, I just go with Alexandria's version because it's such a good rendition of Sauvage Elixir. And then we got the shower, one that nobody talks about, does not get any love, Boss Bottled Night. Yes, I've had this bottle for many years now, and I do wear it on occasion. It's a birch lavender type of scent profile. So you get a little bit of that smoky, birchy smell with a lot of soapiness. It's a very soapy lavender. In my opinion, smells nothing like what it's a flanker of. It's a flanker of Boss No. 6. I don't smell Boss No. 6 when I smell this. This is one of the many flankers that have kind of ran wild off of the Boss Bottled name. That doesn't smell like Boss Bottled, but as a standalone fragrance, if you like soapy lavender scents, it's a pretty solid one. The only way I could see it being called night is because of the birch giving it a darker, smokier edge, but it's definitely not one that you can't wear during the day. Definitely a casual to semi-formal, sorry, couldn't get it out for some reason, semi-formal type of daytime scent. Great for work, inoffensive, safe. Like I said, it's soapy. It's soapy and it's smoky and a little dark. It's not complex. It's more on the simplistic side, but it's enjoyable overall, and you can find them really cheap. Still in production. Been around for many years now. Out the shower, Boss Bottled Night. Moving into Wednesday, one that I've had on my rotation table for some time, for weeks and weeks now, and I finally got around to wearing the damn thing, is the original Roberto Cavalli Uomo. One that I have mentioned more than a handful of times in the life of this channel, but I haven't talked about it a whole lot lately. In recent memory, it's been featured in a video, but violet and honey, an interesting combo. A floral, almost Fahrenheit type of smell because it's violet, with this thick, sweet honey. It's floral, it's powdery, it's sweet, but it's a little different. I don't have any other fragrances that smell like Roberto Cavalli Uomo. There's other things going on for it besides violet and honey, obviously, but that's the two most prominent notes to my nose. They stand out from Jump Street, right off the initial spray, and this is an above-average performer. While not a complete beast, it definitely projects pretty heavy off of my skin, and it lasts for easy 8 hours and then some. It does stick to my skin like glue. It doesn't seem to want to go away. And you can get this one really cheap, under 30 bucks. Get you a 60 ml like this. Depending on where you can find it, you might find the 100 ml around a similar price point, but you'll still pay under 40 for sure from discounters that carry this one. They have a ton of different flankers, but in my opinion, the highlight of the line, the best way to start is always with the original DNA, so you can see what they were working from, because the original DNA in this case is a damn good fragrance, especially if you like sweet florals. I love floral fragrances, and this is a damn good one that doesn't smell cheap, but is cheap. Doesn't perform cheap, but is cheap. That's the beauty of this with Roberto Cavalli Uomo. And then when I got the shower, I haven't worn much from Nautica lately, so I felt it was only right to go with the Nautica fragrance. I went with Voyage N83. This is more minty, fruity type of smell than the original Voyage is. It's enjoyable. It's nothing special in performance. A few hours and it's gone. Traditionally, this is the kind of stuff I like out the shower. Normally, I like these fresh, aquatic, you know, weaker performing fragrances because I tend to take my showers in the evening. It's when I wind down, and I don't need some super performer or anything like that. I don't need nothing to stick to me for hours and hours because I'm out the house and doing other things. Usually at night, something like this will do just fine for me, and it's nice to revisit stuff that I haven't wore in quite some time, because I haven't wore this one in a while. That's why I opted for the N83 flanker from Voyage, because I wore Voyage not long ago, actually. I wore the original recently, but out the shower, it was a nice little treat. One of my favorite cheapies from one of my favorite cheap lines, Nautica Voyage N83. Moving into Thursday, this is one of the fragrances that I've featured recently in top 5 fragrances I feel you must try in 2022 if you have yet to. Actually, both the fragrances I wore on this day are in that video, my daily wear and my out the shower scent, starting with Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum Boisé. So this is, I give the EDP, Gentleman EDP, still a slight edge over this one. It's a little bit creamier, a little bit balmier, lasts a little bit longer, a little bit more refined of an iris fragrance, whereas here it's a little spicier and woodier, less creamy, but you still get that nice full floral, almost soapy but not quite powdery iris that's in here. There's a lot of woods and spices that really give it this more of a daytime type of appeal for me, a little bit of an edge, if you will, compared to Gentleman EDP, because like I said, that's a little bit creamier and more refined and put together, whereas this is a little bit more edgy, a little bit more casual daytime wear. Great in the cold weather, great for iris lovers. That's why I deem it as a must try. If you've yet to try it, it's not a 2022 release, but it's new enough that enough people still haven't tried it yet. So if you like iris, I'm telling you, get your nose on this one. This is a lovely, lovely fragrance. During the day, Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum Boisé. And then when I got the shower, one of the other fragrances featured in that must-try video. Even if you don't like rose, you should still try this one, because this may be that rose fragrance that you like. Zaharoff Signature Rosé. I love this stuff. This is really, really good. One of my favorite releases of 2022. I mean, sorry, I had to sniff it first before I correct myself. 2021 did come out last year. right around the summertime. It is Rose Incense. It's magnificent. This is another one that sticks to my skin like glue. After several hours of the wear, you'll think it's gone. And then you'll do something to really get your body temperature rising, and your body will heat up and it'll start projecting again. I'm not going to say like crazy, but decently heavy to remind you, hey, I'm still on your skin. Yes, it's very unisex. Being a rose fragrance, ladies can absolutely rock this. My wife stole my backup bottle. She was spraying from this bottle, then decided, she said, hey, don't you have another bottle? I said, yeah. She said, can I have it? So, sure, babe, here you go. So she's got my other bottle, and she wears this at least 3 to 4 times a week. Smells great on her. I love walking behind her and her scent trail when she's wearing it. This smells great on the ladies. It smells great on my skin. And it probably will smell great on your skin. Get a sample. There's always a link to the Zaharoff website with a 10% off code down in all of my video descriptions. There are 2 ml sample vial kits that you can get all of the fragrances available from the house currently and sample them for yourself. And Rosé is one of them. This is a must try. It's not going to be for everyone, but I'll be damned if it isn't just a great olfactive experience to have. Out the shower, Zaharoff's signature rosé. Moving into Friday, this is 2 of my personal favorite fragrances that I haven't wore either of them in a long time. It has been a while. Starting with Raja Parfum's Scandal Parfum Cologne. Anybody that's been watching me for a while, you know how I herald this as my personal favorite. That's a reflection of my TV playing in the background, by the way. As you can see right there. It's a commercial. Watching the NFL playoffs while I'm recording a video. But I herald this as the best of the Parfum Cologne line. It is my personal favorite. It's a spicy green fougere. Performs great. Masculine, well put together. It's not reinventing the wheel on a classic fougere smell. A nice, spicy, aromatic fougere. But damn it if it's not my favorite one ever. This stuff is incredible. I love this stuff. The reason I wear it so little is because I hold it in such a high regard. I usually hold it for a special occasion, but I was just in the mood for it. Had to pull this one out. Love, love, love this fragrance. While it's far from the one I wear the most in the line, it's like second to last as far as the one I wear the most in the line. As far as wearability, amount of wear. Of the 5 in this line, it's my favorite. It's my favorite. It's the one that speaks to me the most. I love this. If I could only keep one of the Parfum Colognes, it would be Scandal. Danger, I deem the most versatile. Elysium, the most mass appealing. Creation E, the biggest wow factor. And Vetiver, just a clean, fresh fragrance. This is the spicy, character-driven masterpiece that speaks to me the most, you know. Get your nose on this one if you can. Scandal Parfum Cologne from Raja Parfums. Love this stuff. I really do. And one of my cheapy favorites I haven't worn in a long time. Azzaro Chrome Sport. Smells very, very similar to Versace Mano Fresh. The beautiful citrus muskiness. It's a beautiful fragrance. It really is. You can still find them for sub $30 online from discounters. It is cheaper than getting Versace Mano Fresh. It does smell pretty damn close to Versace Mano Fresh, and it performs about the same. So really, you could go either way. It's very redundant to have both. I do have both, but it is what it is. But if you can find this one for 20 bucks at the rack stores, that's where I found this bottle. I haven't seen them pop up in a long time at the rack store. I'm not going to sit here and act like they're still readily available. I haven't seen them in a long time. If you can, that's the best price I've seen them for. It's a steal, and it's worthy of rolling the dice for 20 bucks. 25, 30 bucks, still a great price for this fragrance. But if you already have Versace Mano Fresh, pass on it. Or if you can find Versace Mano Fresh for around the same price, just get that. But if there's a big enough difference in price, this is the way to go. This will work good enough. It smells great. It's super inviting and easy to like, just like Versace Mano Fresh. Out the shower, Azzaro Chrome Sport. Finally, on Saturday, I deem this one of those fragrances that would go on the Mount Rushmore of greatest fragrances ever created. Some of you may know where I'm going with this. I swear by it as being one of the greatest designer fragrances ever created. That being the 75 milliliter bottle, Dior Homme Parfum. This is as stunning as they get. I love this stuff. All the different reflections in the bottle. This stuff is so, so good. I absolutely enjoyed every minute of wearing this one today. 4 sprays, as per usual. More than enough. Lovely, slightly animalic leather iris combo. Beautiful fantasy iris note. It's that waxy, lipsticky, powdery iris that the Dior Homme line is known for. The old takes on the Dior Homme line anyways. And man, I'm so glad to have this. I do have a backup sealed 75 ml bottle as well. I've got a lifetime of sprays of this, especially since I wear it so seldom and I only spray it 4 times when I wear it because it's a beast on my skin. It's a 12+ hour fragrance on my skin, and it's loud. Loud and in your face. This stuff is so, so good. If you're into iris, this is the grail. For me anyways, my opinion, this is the grail when it comes to iris fragrances, especially designer iris fragrances, because there is a difference. Designer fantasy iris notes, like what's found in this line, it's not what real iris smells like. Florentine iris, orris root. That's a more earthy, boiled carrot smell that still has a powdery floral tone to it. Whereas these fantasy iris notes can smell like lipstick, makeup. They can smell like soap. There's so many different ways they can go with it because it's not an authentic iris. But it's still, if you like that kind of stuff, doesn't get any better in my opinion than the 75 ml of Dior Homme Parfum. Just one of my all-time favorite fragrances. It's a lifer. So glad to have it. And then out the shower, what I'm currently wearing, Vince Camuto Terra. So this smells eerily similar to Versace Eros. But the difference here, I feel like it falls somewhere in between Guess 1981 Los Angeles and Versace Eros, because this has more of the warm amber spicy smell, the drier spicy smell of Guess 1981 Los Angeles, more so than smelling just like Eros. So I feel like it lends itself to being pretty redundant to Guess 1981 Los Angeles, which is one of my favorite cheapies, which on a budget is kind of an Eros killer, really and truly. I do like the scent profile a little bit more than I do Versace Eros in the first place, and this one is very similar to Guess 1981 Los Angeles. So if you see this one for 20 bucks for a 50 ml at the rack stores, it's just as good as getting Guess 1981 Los Angeles. Performs about the same, 5, 6, 7 hour range. You know, nothing special. It depends on your skin, but it's a solid performer, and it smells like a twist, a different take, a little bit warmer take, if you will, on Versace Eros. It's one I haven't sprayed on my skin in a while, and I'm definitely enjoying it out the shower. Vince Camuto Terra. Well, that was the rotation for week number 111, and until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What did you wear this week? Those of you familiar with the format, you know that's my favorite comments of the week to read. I love to see what you guys are wearing in your rotations, whether it's one week or something different every day like I usually do. I love reading stuff like that. Make sure to comment below what your rotation looked like for this past week. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of the fragrances I wore this week and you give them a spray now, might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.